We have to begin this review with the deepest of thanks to our Patreon community, the ambush of tigers of ConvinceMeAudio. It's thanks to our community and viewers like you, we get to review such super high-end products side by side, such as this AIC10 Riviera review, alongside its brethren, the Amp & Sound RedOctober, the Envy, the WA33 Elite, the HA300 Mark II, and many other units that are here in the office at the same time. And this is only thanks to you. I have to mention Mo, Jez, Andrew, and many others of you that send reviews units such as these in, even though they're your own personal units at such high value. It's deeply appreciated. Thank you for getting CMA to where we are today. And if you'd like to join our community and join the private Telegram chat over at the CMA Audio Lounge, all the information is down below. Let's begin. This AIC10 is the baby of Riviera. This unit debuted, I think, around 2018 from this Italian company. They've been in the industry for decades, in all areas of the hobby, and finally coming together, Luca, Marco, and Silvanio. This incredible product debuted at Munich a few years ago. Now, it's had a couple of iterations with the inclusion of a motorized volume pot, because this unit not only drives headphones, but easy load speakers as well. A fully Class A differential, 10 watts of Class A into 8 ohms. A hybrid design using vacuum tubes for voltage and BJT MOSFET for current. Taking a different approach from other manufacturers, studying psychoacoustics, and many other aspects of the way humans perceive audio and sound, and trying to bring all of that together for a musical experience like no other. Their units are not designed for measurements. They're not designed for the internet memes of numbers. The love comes from music, instruments, and let's see if they have succeeded. This unit was not reviewed in isolation. It was reviewed with the Amp & Sound RedOctober next to me on my right, that heavy dense thing from Justin over Amp & Sound that has its own gravitational field. It's so heavy. The WA33 Elite from Audio, the Felix Audio Envy, both anniversary, though we spent a short time with that, and the normal version. The Sale HM1, and feeding all of these. The channel's reference, the best DAC I've come across under 30K, the Rockner Wave Dream signature. Endpointing into these is the Rockner Net server. We have not scrimped and scraped for the super flagship, super high-end category. Double helix interconnects throughout, IFI supernova cables, and the IFI power station filtering everything out nicely. Audio Quest Niagara 5000 was here for a while, and the Lampizator Golden Atlantic was used as an additional DAC. The Holo Audio May and the Wandler and the Cyan 2, incidentally, have all been tested on this unit. The headphones that I used for this in-depth testing was the HiFIMAN Susvaras over there, the DCA Stealth, the AB1266TC, the Odyssey LCD5, and the Utopia 2022. Thank you, Andrew, for sending that unit in. Jez and Mo, legends for all of the units that have been put up against this absolute beast at 19,750 euros. This unit was 12,000 euros due to inflation, and I'm pretty sure that fiasco between 2019 and 2021 had something to do with it too, sadly. Let's do a hardware tour. This unit honestly has to be appreciated in the real life. I don't think photos or videos does it justice. This jewelry style finish is utterly gorgeous. The unit weighs 14 kilograms. It's like a loaf of bread. It's long, thin, narrow, and extremely dense at 14 kilograms. On the front of the unit, we have this beautiful smooth action motorized volume pot that is just incredible feeling with an extremely smooth yet resistant action. The input selector, balanced, and 2 sets of single-ended inputs, and obviously the final knob here indicates low gain, high gain, and speaker. Because this unit obviously powers low power speakers, 10 watts of class A into 8 ohms. As mentioned previously, this unit is a hybrid. It's currently using the G7 3R tubes, upgraded from the JJ stock that comes in the unit, so it's pushing the amplifier far further than the stock tube usually does. More detailed, but we will get onto that in the sound section. Predominantly, the tube aspect is providing the voltage and the BJT MOSFET is providing the current. This unit, on the rear, we have an AC cutoff switch. This unit is region locked, so make sure when you do buy it, or if you do buy it, you buy it for your own region. 230 volt is not going to work in the United States, and it doesn't switch automatically, so bear that in mind. On the back of the unit, we have 4 binding posts, banana and spade. This is for your speakers, set of balanced inputs, and 2 sets of single-ended inputs. That's it. It's a very simplistic, elegant, timeless design. The fins on either side dissipate heat, and the panel up top here dissipates heat of the tube, obviously, and can be removed with these 6 sets of screws, and you can swap out the tube very easily. The unit doesn't get very warm. Internally, I'm pretty sure it's tube. It will run hot, but you don't really feel much heat around the unit when it's functioning like normal. A few minor things to take into consideration. This unit, as stated by Riviera, sounds good after 1 hour, but I have found after 10 hours, the performance is exponentially better. Sweeter sounding, blacker background, and far more viscerally punchy, aggressive bass response. But being a tube and a hybrid, predominantly you need to switch this off after 8 hours or so of working. I couldn't find anything about this in the literature, but to err on the side of caution, it's best to. A bit difficult for a reviewer, seeing as I start work at 4 AM and I usually finish around 11, so this actually makes things a little bit difficult. I do need to have these units on pretty much all the time, so I'm having to switch off for an hour and then switch back on again. And after an hour, it sounds pretty decent, but honestly, to sound its absolute best, for me, it's been after 10 hours. It's exponentially better to my hearing. Talking of that, let's talk about the setup and then the sound. So we use the Mac Mini, Roon and Audiovana as the source, feeding the Rockner net. The server via the Storm cables is going into the Rockner Wavedream signature, which is fed via double helix interconnects chaperone free into the AIC10 Riviera, and also from the Lampizator to the AIC10 Riviera. The Supernova cables and the HiFi power station were used, so was the Audio Quest Niagara 5000. Audio Quest USB carbon for the USB itself. For headphones, we use the HiFIMAN Susvaras, the DCA Stealth, the LCD5, the AB1266TC, the Utopia 2022, all of the ZMF headphones such as Caldera, Atrium, and Verite, and the Valkyria as well was here for a while. This unit has been here for a couple of months and it's been in and out of the studio since December, so we've had plenty of time to spend with it. This is not a quick review, this is a long-term review. Like I stated, the tube inside this unit has been popped out and the G7 3R has been upgraded here too. So we are running this unit at its best capability with the best DAC I have found under 30K, technically the Wavedream signature from Rockner itself. How does the AIC10 Riviera sound? It's a sweet, liquid, black background, slightly mid-centric, intimate staged amplifier. Detail retrieval is excellent, but not on the levels of Sale HM1, only with Rockner Wavedream signature. That amplifier tends to actually give a little bit more detail and definitely bigger stage. The AIC10's strength is in organic richness, textural information, visceral impact, tonal density and weight in the bass response, and a balanced sound. It brings instruments to life. It does not give an analytical sound. It gives a rich sound. a musical sound, providing the best of any track you will give it. It tends to refine badly mastered music a little bit, smooth it out a little bit. I think the tube is assisting with this, but it has some of the biggest images within this stage of any instrument, of any amplifier in this super flagship between 10 and 20k category. In hi-fi, you can't go above AIC10 Riviera. You can only go sideways to upgrade, depending on taste and preference. This does not color the music. Apart from a touch of sweetness in the mid-range, unless you change the tube, you are going to get a natural liquid sound, akin to the Serene from Hollow Audio we reviewed a few years back, review here, but with far more richness, weight, power, tonal density, and hefty impact of drums. Not only that, the transience response, the air, and the scope and size has got to be heard to be believed. It feels as though you are intimate with the singer, close up and personal. Yet her vocals or his vocals are coming out of a very large PA. You are close to a 90-inch OLED screen. You're not watching from a distance like the RedOctober. I think it brings out the best of any DAC and headphone you will throw at it, and gets rid of the imperfections a little bit, so that every song you listen to is consistent with the previous song. No jarring mixes, mastering the way HM1 from Sale provides with Wavetream Signature. That one is a bit more closer to the track source. This beautifies that. If I was to hazard an explanation of this, I would say HM1 is where you mix the track, put it together in the studio, and AIC10 Riviera is what you use to lay back and listen to. Every element of the frequency response of, for example, tom-toms of a drum kit or a cello has a very wide sweep in the frequency response, from its lowest input to the ultra-high spectrum. It's a very wide band, so each instrument sounds full, weighty, non-truncated, excellent leading edge of attack, and wonderful decay. Though the stage is intimate to good, every element of sound can be focused on with pinpoint precision, providing a void in the background and around each instrument so that everything is separated beautifully. I don't think Susvara's has ever sounded as powerful, authoritative, tonally dense, and weighty as it does on AIC10 Riviera. The only other one I would put it alongside is the RedOctober with Wavetream Signature, though that pushes the sound all the way away, probably the biggest stage of any amplifier. Close second would be the Woo Audio, the WA33 Elite. So AIC10 for tonality sits bang in the center of these two amplifiers. RedOctober is the most warm, as if you're looking through a red tinted glass. The AIC10 is opaque, yet with a touch of warmth in the mid-range. But this can be changed with different sets of tubes. But this is what the G7 provides. And at the other end is the WA33 Elite, and then even further away is the HM1 from Sale, all using the Signature DAC. The amplifier and headphones. Let's jump in. The AIC10 Riviera crosses all genres. I think the only weakness I would say for some people would be for classical music and orchestra live. It doesn't provide the vast stage the way RedOctober would do. Like as if you're in an arena and you're 30 rows back and you can see everything top to bottom, left to right. No, you're far more intimate. You are literally in the first row, if not on the stage. Yet each instrument does have its size, scope, tonal density and weight, because the images are probably some of the largest of any amplifier I've heard, bar this one on my right, the RedOctober. Every instrument sounds huge. Bring to mind HD800S. It has the potential and capability to push stage out and bring it even closer when necessary. It's very accurate in this. Detail retrieval is not quite on the levels of HM1, but it gets rid of the harshness of anything that may have any artifacting here or there. It gives you the best performance of that track. Susvara's probably the best performer on this unit, followed by Valkyria and AB1266TC, though the TC does lose some of that stage for tonal density and weight, for example, electronic music. Stealth, a bit dry sounding, on AIC10 Riviera probably is the best matching you're going to get, providing some of that sweetness and then not to mention that tonal density and authority. It's the best amplifier in the industry unless you upgrade sideways. Tailoring to your preference, maybe a bigger stage, maybe a warmer sound. But it's the most balanced amplifier of the industry right now. It doesn't run very hot. It's beautifully designed, extremely expensive, but honestly, it's one of those amplifiers, if you can afford it, you won't need to buy another one for another decade. Amplifier technology doesn't change that much at all. This unit is a jewel in any super flagship, super hi-fi setup, and it will provide enough power, current, voltage to any headphone. Tungsten from Modhouse, double-sided. If you hear it on this, you are ruined, because you will never get tungsten to sound like that on anything else. It utterly changes the bass response, tonal density of that headphone. It's absolutely sublime. Utopia 2022 synergy with this, due to the intimate staging of that headphone, seems to work really well with it. Visceral impact for electronic music, you feel as though your eardrums are going to be blown out the back of your head. That one is very aggressive, very, very smooth sounding, but the authority is there. It makes you want to stand up away from the desk and start running rather than being tied to your chair. So you do end up finding yourself sitting bolt upright like this, as if you're about to jump off the chair. It's very intensive. But if you're listening to lyrical music with beautiful lyrics and a beautiful voice, you fall into the music. It's so texturally rich and organic and realistic sounding, giving you the best of any headphone. The only caveat of this amplifier, bar the price, that's subjective, is for classical music and live orchestra. Sometimes some people want a very vast sound, like the way RedOctober does. But it will give you the emotion, the visceral impact, the richness, the realistic performance of those instruments. So I think you can live with it and not even consider. You have to be very, very specifically stage bound to go, I want something with a bigger stage because it's not good enough for me personally. Because once you have this on the desk, sadly, it makes everything else meh until you hit RedOctober, but that's for the next review. In conclusion, should you buy AIC10 Riviera? If you can afford it, it's the only amp you need because it does everything, and it does everything exponentially well. It will give you detail in a realistic manner, refining some of those artifacting. It will give you accuracy, enormous stage size, tonal density. It will give you an engaging vocal that sounds like the girl or the guy is singing specially for you. It will give you a black background, a beautiful hardware design. It will give you the soul of the music. If you can afford it, I don't think you can go far wrong. It will give you the best of any headphone you put on it. Any, no limitations, no problems. From transients response to macro dynamics, micro dynamics, holographic imaging, layering, transparency, resolution, textual information, and most importantly, organic, realistic sound. The AIC10 Riviera does it all. 5 tigers out of 5. A privilege, and it's leaving and going back to Mo this morning. Thank you again, absolute legend. If you like reviews such as these, or if you're intrigued by the RedOctober, WA33, Mascobo 465, Envy, etc., subscribe. Those reviews are coming. Shootouts are coming. 300B shootout is coming, plus a host of other videos. Come and join us over at the CMA Audio Lounge community, and I do appreciate your support. Until the next one, peace.